Part 1. The Invisible Race. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. It is late at night. You are lying in your bed. The room is completely dark. The room is very quiet. The only light in the room comes from your phone. You hold your phone in your hand. Your eyes are tired, but you do not sleep. You swipe your screen. You look at pictures. You swipe again. And you look at more pictures. You see a picture of your old friend from high school. Your friend is smiling in front of a big, beautiful new house. You swipe again. Another friend is wearing a beautiful white dress. She is getting married. You swipe again. Someone else has a new expensive car. Everyone is smiling. Everyone looks perfect. Everyone has a wonderful life. Suddenly, your heart feels very heavy. You feel a cold sadness inside your chest. You put your phone down on the bed. You look up at the dark ceiling. You look at your own life. You are sitting in the exact same room. You have the exact same job. You do not have a new house. You do not have a new car. You are not getting married. Nothing is new. You close your eyes and you ask yourself very sad questions. Am I too late? Did I do something wrong in my life? Why is everyone running so fast? Why am I standing still? Why am I losing? Do you know this feeling? Do you feel this pain in your heart? Please listen to me. You are not alone. Many, many people around the world feel this exact same way. We look at other people and we feel like we are in a big race, but we are the slow runners. We feel like everyone is in front of us and we are left behind in the dark. We feel like we must run faster. We must work harder. We must not stop. But we are tired. We are so very tired of running. Today, on our channel, we will talk about this painful feeling. We will sit down and rest. We will learn a beautiful, quiet truth about life. You will learn that you are not late. You are not losing. The race is not real. Take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and let's begin our gentle story today. Part 2. The Story of Sarah. The Waiting Room of Life. To understand this feeling, let me tell you a story. This is the story of a young woman named Sarah. Sarah is 29 years old. She is a very kind and gentle person. She wakes up early every morning. She drinks her coffee. She goes to work. She works very hard every day. She helps her family. She is a good friend. Sarah does everything right. But Sarah is not happy. There is a dark cloud over her head. Sarah looks at her friends. Her friends are moving very, very fast. They are buying big houses. They are getting big jobs with a lot of money. They are having beautiful little babies. Sarah does not have these things. Sarah lives in a very small apartment. She has a normal, quiet job. She does not have a lot of money. She is single. Sarah feels like life is a fast train. All her friends are on this fast train. The train is going to a happy, beautiful, sunny place. But Sarah missed the train. She feels like she is sitting alone in a cold train station. Have you ever been to a waiting room? Think about a waiting room at a hospital. You sit on an uncomfortable chair. You look at the clock on the wall. Tick, tock, tick, tock. You wait for someone to call your name. You wait for your life to begin. Sarah feels like she lives in the waiting room of life. She is just waiting, waiting, and waiting. She feels completely stuck. One Saturday night, Sarah goes to a party. It is a party with her old school friends. Everyone is wearing nice clothes. Everyone is talking loudly. They talk about their big success. They talk about their expensive vacations. They show pictures of their new houses. Then someone looks at Sarah. They ask, "What is new with you, Sarah? What are you doing these days?" Sarah feels her face get very hot. She feels very small, like a little mouse. She has no big news. She has no pictures of a new house. She says, "Oh, everything is the same. Nothing new." She feels terrible. She leaves the party early. She walks home in the cold night. She cries. She thinks, "I am a failure. I am broken. My life is a mistake. I am too far behind everyone else." Part 3. The metaphor. The rose and the autumn flower. Sarah's feelings are very real. Her pain is very real. But her thoughts are completely wrong. She is telling herself a lie. To understand why Sarah is wrong, let us look at nature. Let us learn a lesson from the trees and the flowers. Imagine a beautiful green garden. In this garden, there is a big red rose. It is the month of June. The summer sun is bright and warm. The red rose loves the summer sun. It opens its soft red petals. It smells wonderful. It is bright, perfect, and beautiful. Many people walk through the garden. They stop and look at the red rose. They take pictures with their phones. They point at it and say, "Wow, look at this perfect flower. It is so successful. It is so beautiful." Right next to the red rose, there is another plant. It is a chrysanthemum. Let us call it the autumn flower. In June, the autumn flower is not beautiful at all. It has no color. It has no flowers. It is just a small plant with boring green leaves. In July, the sun is very hot. The autumn flower is still just green leaves. In August, the autumn flower is still green and boring. Nobody stops to look at it. Nobody takes a picture. Now, imagine if the autumn flower can think. It looks at the big, famous red rose. It thinks, "Look at the rose. It is so beautiful. Everyone loves the rose. But look at me. I have no flowers. I am ugly. I am a failure. I am too slow. I am doing something wrong. I am left behind." But let me ask you a question. Is the autumn flower broken? Is it a bad plant? No, of course not. It is just not autumn yet. When October comes, the weather changes. The air gets cool. The wind blows. The red rose does not like the cold. It loses its red petals. The rose goes to sleep. But the autumn flower wakes up. It loves the cool air. It opens its petals. It becomes bright yellow, orange, and gold. It is absolutely beautiful. It is strong. It is now the star of the garden. People are just like flowers. We do not all bloom in June. We do not all succeed at age 25. We have different seasons. You are not broken. You are not slow. You are just waiting for your beautiful autumn. Part 4. The psychology of the social clock. If we are like flowers, why do we feel so much pain? Why do we feel like we are late? We feel this way because we follow a fake rule. In psychology, we call this fake rule the social clock. What is a clock? A clock tells us the time. Tick, tock, tick, tock. But the social clock is an invisible clock in our minds. Society makes this clock. It gives us a strict schedule for our lives. The social clock says, you must finish university at 22 years old. You must find a perfect job at 24. You must get married at 27. You must buy a big house at 30. You must have children at 32. Who made this clock? Normal people made it. They made it a long time ago. Maybe our grandfathers made it. It is an old, broken clock. It does not fit the world today. But we still listen to it. We still worry about it. If we are 30 years old and we do not have a house, we think we are failing the test of life. Today, social media makes this fake clock tick very, very loud. Every time you open your phone, the clock shouts at you. But social media is a dangerous place. On social media, people only show their very best days. They show the happy birthday party. They show the beautiful wedding. They show the new car. But they hide the sad mornings. They hide the days they cry. They hide their empty bank accounts. They hide their fights with their husband or wife. You look at their best, perfect moments. We call this the highlight reel, the best parts of a movie. Then you look at your normal, messy, boring real life. This is a very unfair game. You cannot compare a real life to a fake movie. The race is not real. The social clock is not real. It is only an illusion. You are crying over a race that does not exist. Part 5. 3 gentle steps to trust your own timing. Now we know the race is not real. We know the social clock is fake. But how can we stop feeling bad? How can we change our minds? How can we trust our own time? It is not easy to change your thoughts. You need to practice. Here are 3 simple, gentle steps for you to try today. Step 1. Put on your blinders. Do you know about racehorses? A racehorse runs very fast on a track, but horses get scared easily. If a horse looks left or right and sees another horse, it gets scared. It stops running well. So the owner puts small black covers next to the horse's eyes. These are called blinders. Blinders help the horse look straight ahead. The horse does not look left. It does not look right. It only looks at its own path. You must do this too. You must put on your blinders. If a social media app makes you feel sad, close it. Delete it for a week. If seeing a friend's pictures makes you feel late, unfollow them for a while. Stop looking left and right. Look straight ahead at your own hands. Look at your own room. Focus on your own beautiful life. Step 2. Celebrate your underground growth. Look at a big tree in the middle of winter. The tree has no green leaves. It has no flowers. It looks brown and dead. But is it dead? No. Under the ground, where nobody can see, the tree is very busy. The roots are growing deep into the dark earth. They are drinking water. They are getting strong to survive the winter wind. This is underground growth. Maybe you do not have a new house or a big job to show people, but maybe you are growing underground. Maybe you are learning to love yourself. Maybe you are healing a sad heart. Maybe you are learning to sleep better or eat healthier. You cannot take a picture of this growth. You cannot post it on the internet. But it is the most important growth in your life. Be proud of your strong roots. Step 3. Throw away the map. When we are young, society gives us a map. It tells us where to go. Go here, turn left, go straight. But life is not a straight road. Life is a big, wild forest. It is a wonderful adventure. In a forest, there are no straight roads. There are rivers, mountains, and beautiful birds. If you throw away the map, you can explore. You can walk slowly. You can stop and look at the beautiful trees. You can write your own story. Part 6. The final open loop. As we finish our story today, I want you to do something for me. Please take a deep breath. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out slowly. Let the heavy, sad feelings go. Drop the heavy bag from your shoulders. You must remember this. You are not late. You are not early. You are exactly where you need to be in this moment. Think about the big world. Think about the cities. New York is 3 hours ahead of California. When it is 12 o'clock in the afternoon in New York, it is only 9 o'clock in the morning in California. People in New York are eating lunch. People in California are just waking up and drinking coffee. But does that make California slow? Is California a failure because it is behind New York? No, of course not. That is silly. They just live in different time zones.
Both places are wonderful. Both places have sunshine.
You have your own time zone, too. Your friends are in their time zone, and you are in your time zone. Do not let society rush you. Do not let social media scare you. Your beautiful autumn season is coming. Your flowers will bloom when they are ready. Before you leave our channel today, I want you to make a promise. Make a promise to yourself and to us. Please, leave a comment below this video. I want you to write this simple, powerful sentence. I trust my own timing. Write it down. Let this community see your promise. Let us support each other. Thank you so much for watching and practicing your English with us today. Rest well tonight, be kind to yourself, and we will see you in the next story.